We still got a couple weeks here of preparation to get ready, but I'm real pleased with how our guys have responded. Fall camp, coming through things, continuously getting after each other, getting better on a daily basis. It's really been a pleasant fall camp on that part of it. I mean, I can really say, usually you have two or three ones that are kind of up and down. I can really say at this point we had one practice where we felt the heat got the best of us and our guys didn't respond the right way, and we used it as a learning tool, and it came out and rattled off a pretty successful run after that. So I'm real excited where we're headed. We're not where we want to be yet. I know. I don't know if we ever will be. And that's part of the process to me. It's continuous improvement all the way, and that's going to be from game 1 to game 11. So, but there's a lot of exciting things happening place with our players, and again, we're a young football team, but extremely high energy. Our players, again, have done everything we've asked them to do, and I'm excited about everything we're going to be able to put on the table in all 3 phases of the game. I'll go ahead. You got questions?
Coach, starting with the defense, you
Yep.
invested a lot of time recruiting all over the country. Can you tell me what went into recruiting a lot of these players from all over the country? Like, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, again, we thought really on we had to add a couple older kids to the table, especially on the defensive side of the ball. There was basically a junior class that was absent, gone, either through some attrition, academics, whatever reason it is. There was a junior class that was kind of waived out. So we added a couple junior college kids in the defensive line. And again, I think it will be able to help us, not just with the size factor in that, but that maturity factor of having that upper class in there. And with the defensive backs, we did the same thing there. Added several junior college transfers to defensive backs, added some depth in that area. And again, the biggest part about it is you're trying to get guys that really. We've always went about it that you're trying to get guys that fit a very specific profile of what you're looking for. You're not just recruiting the best player or the best linebacker, but you want to make sure he can do exactly the things that you're looking for, and you want him to be able to do in your scheme to make sure it's successful. And I think we've done that. I think we've got the guys that fit what we're looking for, and going to be able to come in immediately, make an impact, whether it be for depth or for fighting for a starting position, but they're going to give us an impact in this ball club right now.
Looking at your roster, you have 6 players from the Hammond area, 3 on defense. How have you implemented some of these local players into your new defense?
Well, again, we want to recruit not just Hammond, but the tangible parish. There's plenty of guys in our own parish that can help us win football games and again help this university. And we're committed to that and making sure we recruit here first and make sure we don't bypass a kid that's right here with their own stone's throw away. It can help us win football games, help us win a Southern Conference. So, there's several, probably the younger guys. We've got several younger guys from local that, again, they're going to have a bright future with us. But we also got several other guys that have been here. That are local products, again, that are going to be a huge impact for us this year.
Sticking with the defense, what are some of the roles that players like Robert Alford and Caleb Hughes offer to your defense?
Well, you can start with Rob. I think Rob's as talented as anybody in the country. He's a, we really want to see him grow as a defensive back and grow as a corner on the knowledge of the game part. As far as athletically, he's as athletic as anybody there is. I mean, he's an NFL caliber corner. That again, I hope that we're going to see that type of production on him on the field on Saturday. That he's going to lock people down in the Southland Conference, and that's kind of what we expect from him. Extremely athletic, great work ethic, and he's done everything we've asked him to do. So he's learning the system, he's learning what we're doing on defense, and he's growing on a daily basis. Caleb Muse, same thing. I think Caleb Muse has got a tremendous upside. There we go. Tremendous upside here. He's only a sophomore. He's a true sophomore. So we're gonna obviously he's getting a lot thrown on him, a lot more than maybe a true sophomore normally would. But I always felt that the kids that you felt can really help you and help you win, you got to apply the pressure to them the hardest, and we have. We applied more pressure to those guys probably than the guys we're counting on than anybody, because we need him. I don't care if he's a sophomore or not. I need him to take on a leadership role, and I need him to respond like a veteran middle linebacker in this conference.
Coach, you got about 13 practices, and you got one scrimmage. You got your other scrimmage tonight, maybe.
Yeah.
What are you expecting? You see your team hit each other and go against each other. What are you expecting to see in
Big thing, we spent so much going in that first scrimmage. We had so much involved installation-wise, offense and defensively, that we really want to see between scrimmage 1 and scrimmage 2 is a major increase in production as far as knowing the scheme, elimination of mental errors, elimination of unforced errors, nothing to do with physical, just making sure they're doing the things that they're coached to do every snap and on a consistent basis, and that's really what we're going for.
Being that this is your first year here, you had to come assess the situation and all the players you brought in and the ones that are already here.
Yep.
What went into your thinking of replacing young senior return quarterback with Stanley?
Well, that was a competition that occurred on the field. Like everything we do is that there's going to be a competition for every position, and you got to produce. And I don't believe anywhere in this game of football you have an inherited position or somebody gets a job due to graduation or what you did last year or last week. I have a tremendous amount of faith in Young. I have a tremendous amount of faith in Stanley. I truly believe that as we go through the season that you're going to see them both. I don't think it's very hard to play and win on a big scale with one quarterback going through the season. So I got a tremendous amount of faith in both of them. And again, right now going through this fall camp again, Stanley's been the guy that's probably get a little bit more spark, a little more consistent, has probably protected the ball a little bit better. But BJ's an extremely competitive person that I know when his number's called, he's going to produce.
How has the team transitioned into learning your scheme?
I think our players have done everything we've asked them to do. I don't think there's been any hold off on that at all. I think they picked it up well. I think that to me right now, that's probably not the problem. It's not whether they know it or not. It's that we're demanding and expecting it to be performed on a certain level every snap. And that's where we're probably the biggest right now. That's what we're in the process of transitioning into. That's where you make the transition into being a championship level team. You got to do that, and we're not there yet. We're hoping to see that tonight, and if not, we got 2 more weeks to get it done. But the biggest thing is understand we've got to play it at the level we're asking you to play at every snap, and we got to eliminate those errors.
So what was the thought process for you guys doing
Yeah, well, it was really just what we're asking from those guys. Outside linebacker in really it's a 3-4 odd front system. He's one we ask our guys to say. We say one, he needs to be a great pass rusher. We look for the profile we look for. We want a guy who can pass rush. We want a guy that's fast enough to run things down the alley, and we want a guy that's obviously physical enough to play on a tight end. So he fit that mold of what we were looking for. It's the same thing. What we were looking for up front, we usually look for in that recruiting process. We're looking for guys that, again, we want guys that are, bigger, probably more physical. And I guess in our defense, he fit more role exactly what we're looking for outside linebacker.
kind of settled in there in that spot?
I think he's done an outstanding job. In the spring, I think there was a little rough spots learning the position for the new position, standing up, a lot different than having your hand in the grass. But I think he did an incredible job this summer of learning and going through what he had to do, working on it, pass coverages, working on things he needed to work on. And this fall camp, he's made an unbelievable transition. It's never been an issue. It's like he's been playing there his whole college career. He's playing fast, he's playing comfortable, and he's done a great job.
Well, the running back situation, Steve Bishar there, do you ever do kind of a rotation thing there, or would you like to see one guy kind of step up in that job, kind of be a bell copy?
Yeah, we figured this. We're going to say the guy that's going to score, we're going to give that guy the ball. The guy's going to score with it. And if he's not going to score with it, we're going to bring him back over on the sidelines and we're going to hold him off. It's not. I wish it was that simple. We've got several bodies there that we think, again, guys that can help us. They're in a pretty good competition. And that's really what we're trying to get out of them. Compete. And hopefully that's going to bring the best out of them. And if you are in a situation where we had to talk as a team, if you're in that situation where you're going to roll and you're going to play 2 or 3, then the only way you make that an advantage is if you play at a faster pace. I can't come in at 20 snaps and play at the same pace I would play at if I played 50. If I come in for 20, I got to play faster. I got to play more dynamic. I got to give all those 20 snaps everything I've got. And that's where the process we're trying to ask right now is trying to get somebody to step the game up, step out on the table and say, I'm the guy, I'm the complete guy, and compete for that job.
Coach, it all starts up front, offensive line.
Yeah.
Gaston and Hall got beat up a little bit, but they're back now.
Yeah.
What are your concerns with the offensive line, depth-wise?
Well, I think we had some injuries there. Paul and Gaston, and I try to look at the positives. The positives, we got a lot of guys, some experience the last week or so. They got a lot more reps. They got a lot more game experience, scrimmage reps, opportunities to be coached. I think it's going to help us in the long run. We know what those two are capable of do. We know they can play. We know they're going to be good players. So hopefully, anytime somebody gets hurt, you can't dwell on it. It's just an opportunity for somebody to step to the plate and go get the job done. And I think we've seen that. I think we've had some guys step to the plate and continue to get better. And in the long run, that's going to help us. But you got 5 in there with game experience, and then after that, there's really not anybody with really college experience. So the more we can get them in practices and scrimmages and reps they can get versus the one defense and stuff like that, the better they're going to be in the long haul.
You only have one recruiting class in, so you kind of evolving
Yeah.
there. But you almost, you're going to tailor what you do to your strengths until you get all those people in place.
Yeah.
What are those strengths now that you've had a chance to look at these players? Just in terms of personnel, where are you strong that you're going to we can work with this?
Going through the evaluation, I think if you said, I think we're very athletic at receiver. We don't have a lot of experience, but they're a group that I have high aspirations for. There's just nobody that really stepped in there and caught 50 balls in college football. But I think they're a very talented group. I think they can be very explosive and they can be that big play guy. I think they're going to need a couple of those weeks to, obviously gain that experience. And I think you're really going to see them step to their own, somewhere around week 3, 4, 5. They're going to step into their own world and take over and do what they're capable of doing. I think every one of them's got the opportunity. I mean, like I said, offensive line wise, I think we, when we're healthy, I think we can be pretty special up front. I think our running back core, again, same thing. We got guys there. This is one going to take the next step. But probably if you're looking at offense right now, I think that probably the one thing I think we're strong at receiver. I really do. With the inexperience and all the questions and all that, And then the other thing is obviously I think our quarterback. I think we're strong. I think we're not just one strong, 2 strong. I think there's 3. I think there's 3 that can step in there and get the job done, and that's good. And when you got those type of guys, I've been there before. I've been there before where you're on your 3rd quarterback, and it's nice to be able to say when that third and that if something happens and you get to the 3rd quarterback, you can get things done, and that's where we're at. I think we're at the situation where we've got guys there to understand what we're doing and can get the job done. I think defensively, I think our strongest point is probably our secondary, and that's the one that everybody to me. And I think it's all about what you expect of them, and my experienced players are going to rise and fall to your expectations, whatever they are. And our guys, I think, have really rose to expectations in the secondary, and I have an opportunity to be a pretty special group.
Is it the newcomers in the secondary?
There's some newcomers. I mean, I think you're looking at it right now. I mean, our corners I think are as good as anybody. Rob and Todd Washington. You got Tyler Stoddard, who is going to be somewhere in those 3 safeties. He's going to be one of them. I don't know what where's the best fit. Don't know. The other guy, the newcomer that's coming in there is John Graves. Is coming in there as safety, and he's going to be, he's going to be a pretty special player. There's a couple other, Mo Sutton was here. He's coming back young, a sophomore. But Theo Alexander, I think when the light clicks on and everything goes right, I think he can be a dominating player. Has it been there yet? No. We've got a couple weeks. We got to get some things done. I was hoping that, again, the scrimmage tonight, we can get in and get that opportunity for the light to pick on for him, too. And then Kevin Harm's a guy who's joined camp late, and Kevin's a guy we have high aspirations for and think he's going to be able to come in and do some special things. But he had to finish a class up and didn't get camp till late, so he wasn't even playing last week's scrimmage. So this would have been his first opportunity to really get some significant experience. But I expect him to be an impact player here in 2 weeks.
Came out of spring kind of concerned about your defensive front.
Mm-hmm.
How have those concerns been answered? How do you feel about that group and what they're going to be able to do?
What I think we have there is I think we've got some pretty good depth there. I think we've got 9 guys that can play. and compete. And we kind of set that standard. The way we're going to be successful up there is to make sure that we get 9 guys rolling in fresh, and they play at a faster pace than everybody else, and that's what they've got to do. I think we've got some guys returning here that play the game fast, maybe lack the size. I mean, just Church and Mayro Stovall are kind of play with high motor, high intensity guys. They're going to be big impact guys on third down, third and long situation as a passer. Newcomers, and you go Tremaine Lucas. Obviously, he's a Superman in the middle, and he's a big, strong guy. That again, when we got to keep him healthy and get him rolling because he can be a dominating player. And we got some newcomers in there. Greg Trie, Jeremy Williams, those guys, Nico Taylor. Those guys are going to be they're going to be good players. Robert Scarpati is a return against Kim Long. There's a bunch of guys in that mix, and I expect them all to play. And we just got to get them, make sure they're playing at a fast pace. Anytime you start naming guys, you guys are probably free. I know Colin Middleton. I already left him out. There's Colin Middleton. You know what I mean? There's plenty of guys you don't want to leave them out. I think they're all going to play, and we're going to need them all to play, and we're going to need them all to play at a high level and high intensity and getting their job done. And that's the important part. If we're going to be successful in that group.